Yeah, and before times, both of us lived through 1999, 2000, and there's sort of that feel as well, where it's like this discovery of trying to figure out what the right approach is in an entirely new technology. And it can be really, really challenging to find the right thing. What is the right thing to focus on in an organization? And what I find in conversations is the right thing is different for most organizations. That there's some basics, like you need to have literacy, you need to have leadership that's aligned, et cetera. But it's not like the market has matured enough that you can say, this is the thing that I do. And it's going to be relatively straightforward to solve. The technology just permeates everything in an organization. So if you try and lean in and solve just like a sales problem, okay, we are going to bring an AI hammer to sales, and we're going to figure this out. Very, very quickly, you realize that sales bleeds over into operations, bleeds over into finance, et cetera. And if you haven't considered how that's all going to work, it just isn't going to work.
Hey, you must need this kind of holistic view of everything to make these singular decisions in some cases. It's it's really wild. I think another thing that really differentiates this between other super cycles that we've seen in human history is just the rate of change as well, right? The pace is exhausting, for lack of better words. It really is. So it's not only deciding, well, where do I apply this? But what tool do I use? And okay, after a bunch of research and talking to, like experts like you who are really good at deciding where in an organization a certain tool might be applied, all of a sudden 2 weeks later, actually, you know what, guys, I've got a whole new tool set because all of these things happened and now this is no longer relevant. And then that might switch again, a month later, because another frontier lab comes out with something mind-blowing and just an order of magnitude better than the previous tool. So that's another thing that I think really trips people up. I know it's tripping me up. It's how I spent a lot of my break, is evaluating a lot of tools from the different frontier labs and really waffling with a lot of things based on just the nuance of what I could do with specific workflows given the features of these different applications. It's a lot to navigate.
And we're living and breathing this, outside of a few rare organizations that have just gone full in on it and have really identified their use cases and started to build the capacity to solve them. I'm finding that 9 out of 10 organizations are still on the very beginning stages. They, again, are beyond that should we or shouldn't we. They get that they should. They get that now we have to really lean in, but it's very rare to see people to go beyond just like simple chatbot type applications and start thinking about solving real problems. And then if they are solving real problems, they tend to be doing so in a way that just replicates whatever the humans were doing before, as opposed to thinking a little bit bigger. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great place to start, but that's still where we are. You're not doing like grand transformations like some people think is going on, I would say.
Right. Or even leadership using some of these models for real strategic thinking, using some of these models as a companion, using deep research.